Hello, everybody. I will be doing lesson 26 with my peer Yasmin. Yasmin, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, Martha, I can hear you perfectly.
All right, thank you. So we have adding an NPI to our application. So in this lesson, we're going to cover organizing our routes with namespacing, creating API endpoints to respond with JSON, and then making Ajax a request from our routes. So organizing our routes. As our application grows, the routes in our main.js file start to overwhelm the other middleware and configurations. Routes are important part of our applications and keeping our routes organized in a way that multiple developers can manage and understand is arguably as important. So in our folder, we have in our project, sorry, we have a new folder called root at the root level of our project, and then we have our new modules in that folder, which is the user roots.js, course roots.js, subscriber roots.js, error roots.js, home roots.js, and index.js. So these six modules will divide the roots that are currently in main.js. So for now, we're going to focus on the user root. So listing 26.1, we have moving user root to user roots.js. So this is the code that we have in our user roots.js. And this code defines the routes for user management in our app using a user's controller. So we have our CRUD root, which is our get, which will list of users. We have our get slash new, which will show a sign up form. We have our post slash create, which will validate or create a new user. Our get slash ID, which will show a single user profile. Our excuse me, our get slash ID. I did an update which will show edit form, and then the update one will update the user, and then we have a delete slash ID delete, which will delete the user. And then we have our authentication route, which is our get slash login, and then post slash login, and our get slash logout. Then we have our controller flow. Each route often calls a main controller function and then a corresponding view or redirect function. So what this does, it sets up all user-related CRUD operations plus login and logout routes, connecting them to controller actions. So we have our so we're going to follow the same strategy for the other root files. Subscriber roots go in subscriber roots and error roots go in error roots.js. And then next we're going to require our relative models. So with those modules added, we tell the local router object to use those routes with specific namespaces. So to tie all these routes to the same router used by application, we're going to add the following code in our index.js. So this is our index.js. So 26.2, importing all the routes into index.js. This is the code that we have in our listing 26.2. So this code is going to centralize all root modules in the main router of our app. So it will import root modules for users, subscribers, courses, errors, and the home page. Then we'll mount each module on a specific path. So the slash users, which is the user root, slash subscribers, which is subscriber root, slash courses, which is the course root. And then our slash home root and error root. So we'll also export the router so it can be used in the main app, our app.js. So to organize and connect all the root files under one central router for our app. So the express.js router object operates through middleware. Within it, we can define specific tasks that we want to perform on incoming requests. In this case, we're using router to load routes different under different namespaces. So in 26.2, creating an API. An API is a structure set up within our application to allow external sources to access our application data. In effect, we've already built an API by creating our express.js web server. And then by serving HTML and EJS, we've provided an avenue through which users of our application can access our data, which is the web browser. So these are the display of the courses in MongoDB. And then we can further improve the index section by responding with JSON only when requested. Then we can accomplish this task in many ways. One way is to use pre-params. So in this code, we perform a check for the format and pre-param. So responding with JSON when pre-param exists in use controller.js. This is our listing 26.3. So we're going to go to our use controller.js. So this index view function, it determines how to respond to a request for a course based on the query parameter. So here is what it does. So it checks if the request query format is equals to JSON, and then if it's true, it sends the course's data as JSON, which is the res.json res locals.courses. If not, it will render the EJS template, so which is the courses slash index, and the rest that render courses slash index. So it dynamically responds with JSON or a web page depending on the format query parameter. So with this change in place, if an external application wants to access the list of courses, it can make a request to the URL with the query parameter. So external applications are only one group of consumers that can benefit from this implementation, though we can use this data endpoint from within our application in many ways. I'm gonna end here, and my peer Yasmin will start from 26.3. I hope that was clear on your side, Yasmin.
Yep, Martha, all was clear. Thank you.
Thank you.